This is your News Source Evening Bulletin for today, Wednesday, the 9th day of January in the year 2019. Here's what we're tracking tonight. All eyes were in the Ministry of the Presidency this morning as the opposition leader and his team arrived to meet President David Granger. It marked the first meeting between the two since the no-confidence vote in the National Assembly. Flanked by some of their key officials, President David Granger and the opposition leader Barrett Jagdeo met for just over an hour this morning to discuss a number of issues related to the no-confidence vote and preparations for elections. The two sides have agreed to issue a joint communique, but in a brief statement released by the Department of Public Information, the president said both sides have agreed that they will engage the Guyana Elections Commission to determine its readiness for the polls.
We have agreed that the two sides will continue to work together to engage GECOM to ensure that elections are held within the administrative capabilities of the Guyana Elections Commission. I would say in conclusion that we've had a successful engagement. Both the leader of the opposition and the president are concerned about the situation. We would like to assure the public in Guyana that we are working to a solution which they will be satisfied with. The public interest is our paramount concern.
The president also explained that during the meeting it was also explained to the opposition leader that the government has gone to the court to determine the validity of the no-confidence vote, and it does not plan to withdraw that matter.
As you know, the government has had legal recourse to the courts in order to determine the validity of the vote in the National Assembly on the 21st of December. This is quite legitimate, and there's no intention on the part of the government to derail the constitutional or legislative process.
The two sides said they have reached broad agreement on how the legislative branch and the executive branch will continue to function following the motion and the vote. More news coming up in just a moment.
Get ready to ride it, ready to ride it, ride the way. Open up the new vibe, drink up the boldness inside. Radical and fresh and wild, catch the wave now. Ride bold, ride fresh, ride strong, come on, ride the wave. Taste the action, satisfaction, perfection. Wave.
Ride the new wave of excitement sweeping Guyana. Wave Pale Ale, a premium, full-bodied, strong and refreshing alcoholic brew, crafted to perfection for a bold, young, radical you. Don't settle for anything less. Catch a Wave Pale Ale and ride it today.
Wave Pale Ale.
Crafted to perfection.
Roam like you're home, because prepaid means more with GTT. Travel to any GTT roam zone in the US, Canada, Caribbean, Latin America, or South America, and pay the same great rates to use your data from foreign as you do when you're home. With GTT, prepaid means more, so roam like you're home with GTT, Guyana's preferred roaming network.
Welcome back. Opposition leader Barrett Jagdeo this afternoon indicated that his party has not changed its position on the passage of the no-confidence vote and still thinks national elections must be held this year in keeping with the Constitution. At an afternoon press conference, Mr. Jagdeo said as far as his party is concerned, the legislature has spoken and has spoken clearly.
As far as we are concerned, the legislature has spoken clearly, not once but twice. First, to say the motion was carried, and secondly, to when they were requested to review it, declined to do so. So until now, once the legislature has spoken so definitively, immediately the constitutional provisions 106.6 and 106.7 starts or should be applied once that is the legislature has spoken.
He announced that there will be a joint team to attend the GCOM meeting to be headed by the two chief whips in the National Assembly, one from the government and the other from the opposition. It is not clear when that meeting will take place. A cautious Jagdeo, however, said the government still cannot behave as if it is business as usual with the regular work of the National Assembly.
The two teams, a joint team, will meet with GCOM to discuss readiness, operational readiness to conduct the elections.
And does your party believe that the $3 billion will be enough to run off the general election?
And this is precisely why we said that the Parliament can meet on those issues associated with Article 1067. Article 1067 says the elections in 3 months. So any issue relating to elections, the Parliament could legitimately be convened and we will attend. So if we need laws, the GCOM needs new laws, we can pass those. If GCOM needs supplementary provision, then those could be passed. Or, any other matter.
The opposition leader said both sides expressed some concern about the poisoning of the mood and atmosphere in the country and said they will both work against that. Mr. Jagdeo also indicated that his side requested that the government withdraws its case before the court, challenging the no-confidence vote. The president said no. The two parties are expected to have other meetings. Well, let's tell you now that attorney and newspaper columnist Christopher Ram has thrown himself into the no-confidence vote showdown in the court by filing a constitutional matter of his own. Mr. Ram, who is also a chartered accountant, wants the court to declare that the no-confidence motion was properly passed and that the government should resign and prepare for elections. His move came yesterday on the eve of today's meeting between the president and the opposition leader. In his court filing, Mr. Ram declared that the resolution of the matter as quickly as possible is of the most urgent national importance in order to avoid a constitutional crisis in Guyana, adding that it is his application that all timelines be abridged as necessary in order that the proceedings can be determined as a matter of utmost priority, so as to prevent the country from suffering the dire effects which can arise from a constitutional crisis and the ensuing chaos, confusion, and uncertainty. Ram lists the Attorney General and the opposition leader as the respondents in his case. The government has filed its own court action, challenging the validity of the no-confidence vote, and the private citizen from the Berbice area has also filed court action challenging the validity of the vote. All three cases are expected to come up for hearing sometime next week. Mr. Ram has been openly critical of the coalition government in his newspaper columns, especially with regard to its handling of the oil contract negotiations and other issues related to that sector. His company was one of the first to be hired by the coalition government to the tune of millions of dollars just after it got elected to carry out forensic audits. Still in the world of politics, People's Progressive Party advisor Peter Ramsarup today said he only became knowledgeable of Charandas Prasad's no-confidence vote when Prasad voted in the National Assembly, and he had no prior knowledge. However, he did admit that Prasad had asked him to lend his security experience to protecting him after the vote.
Charandas is my friend. I don't even know if he was going to vote yes or not. He just said to me, if I decide to vote, and he said that publicly, would you help me with security? And I said, absolutely yes.
Would that be an implication though that he was going to vote yes?
I didn't know that. I would not, well, just in case he did. He already made a public statement, and I believe you ought to ask Mr. Charandas that question.
But you're a member of the PPP. Do you think that was
Absolutely
right?
not. He is my friend, and I will not have anybody, if I do that for anyone. If somebody asks for my help, it's my friend, I don't have to tell a single soul. And I did that.
Throughout the debate of the no-confidence motion and the vote, Ramsarup was firmly seated directly behind Charandas Prasad. After Prasad voted in favor of the no-confidence motion against the government, it was Ramsarup who accompanied him out of Parliament and kept watch over him until the next morning, escorting him to the Eugene Correa Airport to make his exit. By then, Prasad had also contacted the Canadian High Commission for assistance and was accompanied to the airport by an official of the High Commission. That official and Ramsarup were able to get protocol passes and accompanied Prasad directly to the Liat plane. Initially, Ramsarup claimed that he was in the company of the Canadian diplomat and that's how he got the pass. But today he indicated that he simply requested and got one.
I went in as Peter Ramsarup, requested a pass. I was with Mr. Charandas, and I was with him. I wasn't with any other party. my responsibility. If you've seen in all the videos, I stood right next to him. I walked with him. I requested a pass on his behalf to get him to the airplane.
The security lapse has caused the Guyana Civil Aviation Authority to order the Eugene F. Corrales Airport to put a hold on the issuance of protocol passes. Turning our attention now to the courts 9 days after the gruesome New Year's Day morning murder of a Tushao in the Region 7 area, his son-in-law appeared in court today to face the murder charge. Appearing before Senior Magistrate Shirtle Isaacs, the accused Allison Benjamin was not required to enter a plea to the indictable charge of murder. It was explained to the court that early in the morning of January 1, he chopped his father-in-law Tushao Solomon Lewis to death as the man sought to intervene in an argument between the accused and his wife, the Tushao's daughter. The prosecutor explained to the court that the 27-year-old accused was physically assaulting his wife, and the Tushao rushed to his daughter's aid, but was murdered instead. The wife's younger brother was reportedly also attacked by the accused, and one of his arms was hacked off during that attack. The court also learned that Benjamin, after carrying out the bloodied attacks, escaped into the jungle, but was later apprehended by law enforcement. He was remanded to jail today and is expected to face separate charges for the wounding of his brother-in-law. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. Gordon Mosley reporting.